Hello everybody! How are we doing? Is everybody good? Everybody kicking ass? Everybody having a good week? I know it's only Monday, but come on now. How goes it? Interesting. Ah, there it is. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Sorry about that. I was looking for my lighter so I can clear the barrel of my glue. Now I know the description. The description says that we're going to build the Wight King. But I was bored, so I built it. So I've built it. So instead we're going to do something a little bit more interesting. We're going to build Radukar the Beast. Because you guys keep asking for it. That is not clear. But anyway, before we get into any of that, the music is definitely loud in my ears. There we go. Much better. Let's say good evening to everybody in the chat. Good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. Tattooed Zoologist, Aidan Hughes, Royal Wargaming. We need a Kassakin tutorial. Just throwing that out there. I'll get on it. I have a little bit of spare time. A little bit. Like 3 hours. Maybe I can get one done. Who knows? Sly Guy 77, Ricky Drinks Paints, Millie Paints, good evening. Fake Street Spirit, Mark Watson, Edward 705, Stender Painting, Pip 2, number 42. Thomas, good evening. Fake Street Spirit again, Katara Natsumi, hello. Colonel, 149, the Deathcore of Krieg, salute. And all that good stuff. Wargunner 28, Brainbug 101, who's been a member for 13 of the finest Warhipster months. Legendary support. I guess you've seen the new Space Woods, and all I have to say is Blood Angels get shafted with a cactus up the nethers. Yeah, well, less said about that better. I absolutely 100% called it on all the Space Wars stuff, so I'm very happy. Nice and smug, as I always am. So, you know, good stuff. Joe O'Connell, hello. Karcharoth 1993, Texas Wargaming, hello. How are you all doing? Okay, the barrel is now clear. We're good to go. So yeah. How's it going? Are you guys all good? You guys chilling? Who will be victorious? Only the faithful. Only the faithful. Guys, if you could, I would very much appreciate it. If you could please leave a like on the stream. That would be very, very kind of you. Been better. Rough month. I'm sorry, Texas Wargaming. You've had a rough month. That sucks. Oh my god, this is a very involved model. I did not realise. That was probably foolish. No, we were fine. We didn't break anything. Got myself and my wife tickets for Board Game Expo, so hopefully people will be there. I hear Mr. Peachy's going, and Honest Wargamer. Excellent. Sounds good. It's been a bit of a funny month the last month or so, hasn't it? It's been a bit of a strange one. It's been very difficult in YouTube land. I'm not gonna lie. It's quite difficult at this end. It's been a battle. It's been a battle. But this kind of time it usually is. You know, businesses are out doing their tax returns. People are doing their tax returns. It's the new financial year for a lot of people. Which therefore means advertising revenue comes down a little bit. Because nobody's spending at the moment. March is usually really good. Because everyone's like, get rid of all the budget. April, it's like, no. We're not going to spend a single penny on any of that stuff. So that's all fun. Which therefore means that creators like myself go, huh, when you look at the stats. So guys, if you could please leave a like on the stream, that would be very, very kind of you. Because we've got to boost that ad revenue. But of course, if you wish to, I'm going to do the YouTubery thing really early, so I apologise to everybody out there. But if you would like to, of course, throughout the duration of this stream tonight, where we will be building some stuff, talking some stuff, and hanging out, generally having a good time, if you would like to, you can, of course, send super chats. If you have a really burning question or something that you really want to put on a big colourful postcard, you can do so. And if not, you can consider becoming a member of the channel. These are financial ways to support me, but if you don't wish to do that, the free way to do it is to subscribe and to hit the like button. So, with all that in mind, I'm going to show you what we're doing. So, we have overhead. I'll leave the choice up to you guys. So, look, I built him. I built this terrible model from 2011, believe it or not. 2011. The Wight King on foot. So we built that because it's part of the Spearhead. So the choice is Radikar or Blood Knights. The choice is yours. You get to tell me what to do. This is, after all, a democracy. The Blood Knights, Radikar, 2 Blood Knights, blood. How did you get the base flat like that? I cut it at each corner and then prayed. Oh God, everyone's saying Blood Knights. Good evening, Britters. Thank you very much for the £5 super chat. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. Evening, Mr. Josh. Hope you're well. How much how much man fat was there over the new Wolves reveals? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think they're great. They're cool. I'm a little bit smug. I'll tell you why. Because I've been saying for a long time that the Space Wolves release will probably be Terminator, Wolfguard Terminators, and then the Terminator characters. It'll be Njal Stormcaller and Arjak Rockfist. And a bunch of people told me, nah, they won't do that. Njal's definitely not getting a new model. Njal's a model that's going to go. And I'm like... You see, this edition, we have lived through Blood Angels, and we've lived through Dark Angels, and we've lived through generic Space Marines. And it's been the Terminators edition, so anything that could be Terminators got Terminators. Unless you're Blood Angels, in which case... Edward705 with the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. Legendary support. Thank you very much, Edward. That's very kind of you. I appreciate that. As you can see, we're slowly climbing back to 400. I should change the goal, shouldn't I? Let's put that to 400, shall we? Feels a little bit more attainable. There we are. That picture of the Space Wolves that was sent today looks awesome. Is that a new Logan? It is indeed a new Logan Grimnar. So let me just check. What did you guys say? So we have 1 Blood Knights, 2 Blood Knights, 3 Blood Knights, 4 Blood Knights, 5 Blood Knights, 6 Blood Knights, 7 Blood Knights, 8 Blood Knights, 9 Blood Knights, and 4 Radikars. Well... Let's do Blood Knights then, shall we? It actually is quite helpful because rather than opening that box of Blood Knights, let's get Radikar the Beast out of the way, shall we? Let's pop him back in his box that I definitely didn't throw across the room. Helpfully, we have the Spearhead box. So we actually already have some loose Blood Knights. So we can do those, which is cool. And it's this pile of sprues right here. And I just spilt bases all over the floor. Hooray. Good stuff. We're cooking, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the death rattle. And then that's a base that we threw on the floor. 1, 2. God, don't make me get them out to count them. Get them out to count them. We'll be back at Project Spearhead. Yes. If we do Blood Knights, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's a base missing. Hooray. Okay, well, it's on the ground somewhere. Oh. It's all a bit chaotic today, chat. I'm full of that manic energy. Ah, there it is. I went to the opticians yesterday and had to part with a lot of money for eyes that are now healthier. So that make sense. But you know, I've got to keep my eyes working for all of you, because if I don't keep my eyes working, we don't make any more videos, you see. My Screaming Killer is finally ready to paint, and my 00 brush just came in. I have your painting video queued, now have to wait to be done at work. Cheers, sir. Oh, you're very welcome, Dominic. Thank you very much for enjoying it. Good luck with it. I hope you have fun. But there we go. Right. Blood Knights. How much of a nightmare are these? Have you guys told me to build Blood Knights because you know that they're an actual pain in the arse? And you think it would be really funny to watch me lose my mind? Because, you know, I endorse that. That is a very funny thing to do. Oh my Gideon. Right. Oh, Christ. Ooh. Okay. It's going to be a bit of an intense build, but there we go. Right. Well, weapons don't mean a thing anymore, so that's all good. My experience may vary. We'll be painting the entire Death Guard Battle Force box and Combat Patrol. It's unlikely, Love Hippo. I mean, would I like to do a thing? Yeah, I would like to. It's just finding the time to do all of that Death Guard stuff. And ultimately, like, the infantry and stuff doesn't change very much. We've done the old Combat Patrol. So Typhus, Plague Marines, Biologist, Putrefier, Poxwalkers. We've now done the Lord of Poxes. I did buy a Mortarion. So a Mortarion is also here. So maybe we'll do a Mortarion in the proper scheme rather than Pallid Hand. But again, it's all time dependent. I wouldn't like to promise that I will do the Death Guard Battle Force en masse, because it's a lot of work and there's other stuff to be getting on with in the meantime. But never say never. We shall have to see. But there we go. Pilgrim is in the corner, built and ready to paint. Gonna have to convert him to cover up that god-awful exposed wound, though. Only part of the model I hate. Oh. Well, I quite liked it. Different strokes for different folks, I guess. Give yourself a challenge and make the $400 Angron Joy Toy a proper paint job. I don't need to give myself a $400 challenge. That's up to somebody else to give me a $400 challenge. I have enough challenges in my day-to-day. Right. Blood Knights, here we go. So this is Blood Knight number 1. May I request a Plague Crawler if you haven't done it as yet? I answered this in a comment on the thing, asking me how I would do it. And honestly, I would prime it in Death Guard Green. I wouldn't waste time doing multiple layers of thin greens. You've got a decent enough thing, and all of the metallic sections in it are then painted in metallic anyway. So I can describe it to you in that the Plague Burst Crawler, prime it in Death Guard green, wash it with the same wash that I use in any of my Death Guard videos, and then glaze it with Death Guard green, and that's the majority of the video, if you see what I mean. It's one of those things. It's like it's not a particularly in-depth different model. It's the problem with the Space Marine Rangers generally is they don't really vary that much ultimately. But look, like I said, never say never. It's something that we can put in the to-do list. It's here. It's in my inventory. But alas, I must move on with other things for now. That being said, Slaughterbound video, that's on the way. The Tales submissions are until tomorrow or tonight. Well, what month is it? It's April. 30 days in September, April, June, November. You've got 2 more days. 30th. Midnight, your local time, on the last day of the month. Tales, the stream isn't until the 11th anyway. So you're all good on that front. How would you go about achieving bright neon pink colour using Citadel paints? How bright are we talking? That's the question. Can we have a clue on the potential theme for next month? I did quite like my idea the other day of making it another musical themed one. Calling it Maybe You're Gonna Be the One That Saves Me. Very bright, worthy of Emperor's Children. I see. Well, Armin. I don't know how I would go brighter than what I already did, but I'd probably just throw Fulgrim Pink down over a white base. And that's the end of the story. I don't know how much brighter you can go than that, to be honest. But alternatively, there are many Emperor's Children videos on the channel now, if you wish to paint them in that way. If you want to go brighter, just, yeah, like I said, just throw out most of the contrast paints and use the Fulgrim Pink. It's difficult to go much brighter. You can go for a hot pink and use Doomfire Magenta, but it's quite a different tone, Doomfire Magenta. Ultimately, though, if you do my tutorials over the top of white, you might have a little bit brighter. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would do it much bright. I mean, look, the best thing you could probably do is, if you want it to be a super neon color, is buy a neon color paint set from someone else. If you see what I mean. If Citadel isn't the range to do it, then it's time to go outside Citadel. Which, if your follow-up question is who, I don't know. Hey man, just wanted to say thank you for putting up all of your tutorials for painting. It really helped me as a newbie get into painting all my models. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Michael McDonald. I will continue to do so. How does that go on? That goes on there. So where does that go? You told me this was going to be easy. Alright, here we go. Let's put the first three components together. So the leg goes in here, allegedly. And the horse's chest plate goes there. So we jam that in there. And we jam that on there. Nay. How would you do pink hair or bright blue hair? Trying to do colourful hair colours for my Escher. I figured out purple, red and orange. Maybe need better options for green. I don't think you necessarily need better options for green. You could go for striking scorpion green for a bright green hair. And blue, I would probably say use Frostheart for very bright blue hair. And for pink, I would say use Doomfire Magenta or Volupus Pink. You have two options. Good evening, Demogorgon. What does the other part do? Okay, B1 and 2. B1, B2. But don't be 3. But you can be 4. Or B5. Or, at a push, you can B6. But you can't be B7. Thankfully, these aren't covered in horrible mold lines, at least not yet. So, that's pretty good. But what's everybody working on today? Do tell, chat. Working on dark shards, painting some Emperor's Children. Early days of Ionis. Millie's working on Baharoth, nearly finished him. Oh, he's so cool. I'm excited to see your finished Baharoth, Millie. You've put a lot of effort into that one. So well done for nearly finishing it. As I recall, when I painted my Baharoth, I found it to be a pain in the arse. Working on Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Well, that's oddly appropriate given the reveals today. You hopefully will tomorrow. Well, watch you finish it or see it fully finished? That's if I don't lose my mind building Blood Knights, you know. I might lose my mind building these. I don't know yet. We've barely built one. I'm already carping and complaining. Because building sucks. Again, if you guys would like to see the channel grow, consider supporting the channel through memberships and gifted memberships so that we can hire somebody to build all of my miniatures for me. And then all you'll ever see me do is paint. Think of how many painting tutorials you'll get. A steady stream of them, as per usual. Do you sell the Warhipster mat? I'm going to level with you, Love Hippo. This is a piece of paper with a sticker on it. I will finish him if it's the last thing I do. If you had a choice of whatever model to work on currently, what would you choose? I do want to get to doing my Minas Tirith army. That is a project that I've been not putting off, but I've been wanting to do for a while. And I got really excited at the Dol Amroth, the Prince Imrahil announcement. And then I was like, I'm going to buy some Knights of Dol Amroth to put into that. And then they were not available. And I was like, well, that just scuppered it. So I would love to work on that Minas Tirith project. There's not a huge amount of it left to do. I've done a lot of the background painting on it, as it were. So I would love to get that done. The other thing I would like to do is I would love to work on the new Revenant Draconith. That would be really fun, but no idea where that is. So for now, I'm stuck with this. Not stuck with this. These Blood Knights are pretty cool. Now here's the other side of things. I also want to finish my kind of my big things tour of Warhammer. And what I mean by that is I basically need to find the time to do Kairos Fate Weaver and Rotigus Rainfather. I also need to do Nagash and that's Andalariel. But that's one of those ones where it's like it's gonna be that would be such a cerebral couple of weeks. That it would be insane. So like I would need a month to do all of that. So I basically I'm kind of in a funny position at the moment of I've got a lot to do, not enough time to do it in, and permanently stressed out. Okay, we've built a body of a Blood Knight. Oh, interesting. Straight away with the sword and shield. B6 and B7. Turns out you can B7. You just can't B9. I like to have fun with words. Thank you for your shorts on leather. I misread that at first. I was like, who's handing out leather shorts and why didn't I get some? But now I understand. Shorts on leather. Yes, guys, if you haven't already, what you should do is you should go and check out Millie Paints on Instagram, Twitch, Patreon, everywhere that you can find the best content creators in the world. And I shall drop links in just a moment. Allow me to build a shield, because I'll have to wait for it to dry anyway. Where is your mind at, good sir? I was just disappointed I wasn't included in some sort of, you know, leather shorts giveaway. I was like, you know, the summer is coming. Why can't you hook a brother up? Oh yeah, just leave that for a moment. We need his inside leg. Even I don't know that measurement. And I should, but I don't. So guys, if you're not already, do go and check out Millie Paints over on Instagram. She's dropping a lot of free content and a lot of great free content. You're thinking Josh likes short shorts. See, look, we're back to you guys trying to get me naked again. And, you know, I know you're talking about short shorts and you're like, whoa, Josh, you're jumping to conclusions here about us trying to get you naked, bro. But, you know, look, I remember all of the requests for the hot tub stream. I remember all of that. Don't worry, it's all firmly locked away in my brain where it belongs. I'm just vibing over here to some blues. Don't worry about me. You are silly. Did not need to do that. Hey, look, we like to share the subscriberships around here. You can't. Oh, for God's sake. Oh yeah, Josh, don't worry about the building the Blood Knights. They're really easy. He says you can't even get the first freaking arm on. There we go. I got the arm on. It's alright, I'll stop carping. We are all still waiting on the Warhipster calendar with your sexy hot tub pictures. You mean vomit-inducing pictures? And then everyone will laugh at me and point. January, a suggestive Josh in the tundra wasteland with Lau Kavai. It's horrifying. It's horrifying to me. It's actually horrifying to all of you as well. You know? I know we're all for, you know, body positivity over here, but, like, I feel like the outlay of me purchasing a lot of calendars and going to all that time and effort to then have them be purchased by no one will be the biggest insult to me and my self-esteem. Hey, look, guys, I actually did it. Cool, no one wants it, bro. I don't want to see a man struggling to look comfortable on camera. I need to do OnlyHands first to gauge my audience. Hey, look. I was doing OnlyHands on YouTube before everyone started complaining about that. When was the last time you saw my face in a painting tutorial, huh? Huh? Never. That's when. Well, I think I have put my face in 1 or 2. Maybe to apologise for getting something wrong. I can't remember. There's definitely been at least one. I think it's the Trajan Valoris video or something like that, where I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I messed this one up. I just caught myself from saying a sentence, and now I'm like, I shouldn't say that sentence, given the context of the conversation we're at right now. I showed my face in the older Contrast Plus versus Classic method for Dark Angels. Oh yeah, but that's yeah. It is technically a painting tutorial, I suppose. Fake Street Spirit. Look, if you can come up with a decent enough concept for all 12 months, and you want to fund it and be the photographer, I will try. Okay, I'm not saying I'm not saying I will do it, but I will try to summon up the enthusiasm to maybe consider doing that. I'll also set you guys a challenge. Let's say get to 1,000 members. Maybe we'll do it at 1,000 members. That's a lot. You know? And then the chat goes silent. Oh no, he set stakes. That's a dangerous game you're playing there, Josh. Just ask Joe. It's alright, I'm fairly confident it'll never happen, Demogorgon. I need to go eat some fishy fingers. Let me think about the rites of spring. Said the bishop to the priest. Something members joke. Very good. You didn't specify a timeline for 1K members. No, that's true. I didn't. It's true. It's very true. However, I will say, last week we were over 400, and this week we're over 300. So I'm fairly confident. Oh, it is facing off to the side. Okay. Cameron with the 5 gifted memberships. It begins. It begins. I just started my 40k journey and I am following your Deathwatch painting tutorial, and God I suck. I got some brutal coffee stains. I guess practicing is all that is left. You can do it, Rox. It'll be okay. You don't suck. You just need practice. That's all. But having done it, that's, you know, that's perfect. Thank you very much for the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships, Cameron, and Team Rocket Mofo. Thank you very much for becoming a member. That's 6. That's a long way to go now, guys. If you want to get a slightly easier recipe on the black armor rocks, you could contemplate using Black Legion instead of the blue and the Black Templar. It will go on a lot quicker. You could, just to get the same vibe, instead of the blue and then the Black Templar, use Black Legion and then shade it with Drakenhof Nightshade. That might help you. That might help you go quicker, as it were. B15 and B14, that's what I'm looking for. Oh, something fell over. No idea what happened there, but there we go. If you guys have been on Instagram today and you've seen my Instagram story, you'll have seen the box of sprues. That is just one box of sprues. Just one single solitary box of sprues. And there is a much bigger one downstairs. And there are 3 more boxes I could fill with sprues. And I still wouldn't have made a dent. So we talked a little bit a while ago about the ultimate bits box. Well, the reality's getting closer. Team Rocket Mofo with the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you. Who knew that the secret... What was it on? 17. So it's that. Yeah. Who would have knew that partial nudity in a calendar would be the thing? I should have known. Came for the painting vibes, but staying for the potential leather shorts calendar. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I get it. Oh. Absolutely not, tattooed zoologist. I can't handle those because sensory overload. My brain can't handle it. I fly into a rage. Colonel, thank you very much for being a member for 22 months. Be careful with what you suggest or joke about, Josh. You know that we love you and we'll probably make it happen. Just saying, thank you for all you do. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much, Colonel. And Cameron has been a member for 23 months. Have you been sucked into the Oblivion remaster yet, Josh? I never played the original as I was 4 when it came out, so making up for lost times now are plenty. You were 4 when it came out? Yeesh. Wish I was 4 when it came out. I was a lot older. I played it when it originally came out. Look, I played Oblivion. I enjoyed Oblivion. I completed Oblivion. And I did that when it came out. And I feel very happy not doing it again. I tell you what I do want to do, though. Games-wise. I want to pick up Expedition 33. Because I keep seeing everybody talking about how amazing it is. And I want to pick it up. That's my gaming news. Also, we are getting closer to Elden Ring Night Rain. Now, I know that video gaming streaming on my YouTube channel is generally not advised because, you know, set fire to your own algorithm. However, if anybody would like to play Night Rain, and there's enough appetite for it, we shall get some members games going on. We did one stream of that with with Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2, very different game to what it was when it first came out now. There's a lot more content on there. I'm waiting for Horde mode to make an appearance. And once it does, we will do another stream. We'll do some supporters. We'll do some supporters streams on Horde mode, I suspect. I was contemplating doing it last Wednesday for the Trigon update, but I decided against it in the end. How the hell does this head go on? Badly. I mean, it looks fine to me, so there we go. So yeah, they've talked about private PvP lobbies being a thing, and that's the thing I've kind of been waiting for, to do some do a lot of kind of members games of, because we can get, theoretically with a private PvP lobby, we should be able to get 12 people all in at once, which is just a little bit better than, you know, 2 or 1, depending on if anybody that I regularly, basically if Joe wants to play. So we built a Blood Knight, yay! Look at that, one hole down. My mother has come for a visit, so heading into lurk mode. Well, I hope you have a nice time with your mother and enjoy the lurk. Maybe we'll see you again in a little bit. Thanks for being here, Millie. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Do I do something stupid? So what have we had? Maybe we could do that. Okay, I'm gonna tempt fate here. Paul is bad at stuff. Thank you very much for becoming a member. There you go. Boom. Little bit off topic. Are you going to build your knights with lances or swords? I didn't realise swords were an option. Are they an option? Oh, they are an option. B39. Paul is bad at stuff. Are you going to be at the Tabletop Tactics event on the 9th of May? Because I'm going to be there. We could meet and shake hands. But no more. I'm just oh, you're not going this time. Oh, well, we can't shake hands then. That's a shame. It's okay. I will leave that up on the stream for the next couple of weeks. Weirdly, I was just thinking in my head about how terrible it would look and actually how much of a meme and how funny that would be. I mean, I really don't want to do it, but I will do it. Well, look, only the next couple. It's not going to be up there permanently. We're on 17 of 1,000. That's a long way to go. So 1 Blood Knight down. There are many more to go. And that's taken me, what? 18:26. Less than an hour. Hey. Alright. To answer your question, though, Cajun Wargamer, I'll probably build them with lances because it's just cooler. At least to my eye, it's more cool. It's cooler. Okay, we're on to the next sprue. On to the next one. 32. I have a question for the chat. Does anybody know if there are bit sellers that would buy a massive chunk of sprues? Does anybody know? What are you taking to Tabley Tic Tacs? I don't know, Paul. I really don't know. I was thinking I could spend... I was thinking... Sorry, I need to send somebody a big congratulations. Congratulations. If you're watching, congratulations. And you know why. Yeah, I don't know whether to try and... Because I could spend the next week... I could spend the next week trying to put together something absolutely heinous. And take that instead. But equally, I don't want to do that. So there is every chance that I'll just take what I have. I can recommend many Centurions. You won't win, but I can recommend it. I would like to do that, Paul. I would like to. I would also like to get my Gravis army, put together. However, I don't have enough Gravis to do them, and I also don't have enough time. Oh, they 100% look cooler. I will warn you, they are a pain to put on. Oh no. Okay. So yeah, there's a 2,000 point list of what they called Emperor's Children, which I have. It's ready to go. That could go. It's a demons list. It's not very good, especially when I was chatting to Joe, and Joe said he was going to take 18 flawless blades, and I was like, oh. So you ain't going to play, are you? you're going for serious time. But then he also said he might take Tyranids, so you know. Then I laughed at him. I laughed at his sadness. Yeah, so I could take Emperor's Children. I could take a terrible Blood Angels list, but to be quite honest, they are my favourite army. I love my Blood Angels, as you all know. I have many, many hundreds of the Blood Angels. Many, many hundreds of the Blood Angels. And I think the army kind of sucks. Because I don't like how it's been treated in 9th. I don't like how it's been treated in 10th either. So I kind of just don't want to take them. I just don't really want to play red Space Marines. I want to play Blood Angels, and the army doesn't feel like Blood Angels at the moment. So aside from that, the other option is Custodes, and I could put together a little few extra bits. I've got a Telemon to do, for example. That would be a good one to put in. And maybe some more Alaris Custodians. That would also be cool. But I'm probably going to take the Emperor's Children one, just because I can take Fulgrim, Shalaxi Hellbane, a Keeper of Secrets, and Lucius, and feel pretty good about that choice. The other option, of course, is that I could spend this week painting Kairos and Rotigus Rainfather. I'd have to get them built, but I could build them, paint those, and then just take Be'lakor and all 4 named demons and then something else to go with it. Which would also be cool, I think. But who knows? We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. It's frightening how what was once a very cohesive collection of 40k armies is now no longer a cohesive collection of 40k armies. And there is a staggering amount of things I'd have to build and paint in order to get them into a place where I would really like them. Particularly my Blood Angels. Like, I would love to take 30 Death Company. I'm not painting 30 Assault Intercessors black. I'm just not doing it. Just refuse. On principle. Yeah, I just refuse to do it because I have 30 Death Company and they're all in the wrong loadout because I have at least 4 Thunderhammers and that's too many Thunderhammers. I don't even think you're allowed to take them on the jump pack, are you? Thunderhammers. Just flat not allowed. You can have the Power Fist, and that's it. You can only have 1 of them in a 10. How the f*** are you meant to go together? I don't understand. When will the rest of Soulblights be released? The new Dragon, etc. manifestations? I have no idea, Ravens. We'll have to wait until Games Workshop tells us that. But I ain't seen them. They're not on my radar yet. Well, they are on my radar. Because, you know, I really want them. Some might say they occupy every waking moment. They don't, but they could. But as soon as I know more, you'll already know the same as what I do. I'm just assuming that that is how that goes together, and I don't think it is. Oh, God, this is terrible. Thank you, everybody, for choosing the bad one. Okay. Good evening, Chris. Have you ever built Conquest minis? No, I haven't. You seemed so happy when you completed one. I was. And then there were 4 more. One with a loose head that doesn't fit. It's just how we roll. Because you did the Nighthawks. Yeah. Yeah, you forget my tolerance for building things is extremely low. Everyone always forgets that. It's all good. I just dislike it. Because I think building models is dumb. No, you know me, I just don't like it. And just it's the one part that if I like I said, if I could hire someone to do it for me, I would. In a heartbeat. Beep 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 beep. Would Death Guard be good for a noob who's never played and issue with maths? Yeah, they wouldn't be bad. I think the thing to remember with Warhammer is it looks like it's a lot of maths, but it's not. There's actually not a lot of maths that goes on. There's not really actually. There's no arithmetic, as it were. There's just a lot of numbers that are used to determine things. But most of the time, if you've got it in front of you, it should be you should be fine. But you're not having to add or subtract anything really, other than how many wounds. And it should be quite a collaborative experience. But Death Guard aren't a bad one. They're fairly simple. They walk forward slowly. You can't really go wrong with many Space Marine factions because the game is built around them anyway. So, like your loyalist Space Marines in particular, they're very. There's a reason they're the starter army, in that they are designed for beginners, and they're designed for beginners because, well, back in the day, it used to be they just did everything on 3s, 3+, 3+, 3+. Soulblight or Flesh Eater Courts, which is better? Oh, better how? Better army? Better to paint? Better to build? Because there's a lot more newer models for the Soulblight Gravelords than there are for the Flesh Eater Courts. But that could all change later this year. Who knows? I have a good-sized Death Guard army. Everything but the Primarch. Can't afford him. He's a pricey boy. Like I said, I've bought one to... there was a request for a... Basically, there was a request for a Canis Rex a couple of weeks ago, and then somebody very kindly, super chatted the money for it, and I was like, well, okay. So I ordered the Canis Rex, and at the same time I ordered a Mortarion because I figured Death Guard was on the way, so we should get him locked and loaded whilst we still could. So he's here. He's not built. I've also got the 30k version, but I don't know if that helped. I don't know if I don't think that's particularly helpful. Whom I was going to do at the same time as Alfarius, and then I got sidetracked by a bunch of other stuff. A bunch of really cool stuff, though, which I will be able to show you soon. I just can't show you yet, unfortunately. But eventually, we will. Bow. B33 is what's next. Because that's the horse's face. As an FEC player, they are not bad to paint, but to play, you kind of have to jump through loops to do things that Soulblight can just do better with less thinking, in my opinion. I think they do act slightly differently. I think oddly what Flesh Eater Courts are really good at, and I don't think many people play them this way, or maybe they do, but what Flesh Eater Courts are really good at is just, if you can time the charge, you can absolutely smash your opponent apart. And it all comes down to, you know, making sure that you've got the, making sure you've got the Feeding Frenzy off, that everything is all good, so you've got +1 attacks here and there. And having achieved it myself, once it goes right, it goes really right. Whereas what I think Soulblight Gravelords are slightly better at is the attrition game. Because ghouls are just very expensive for what they do. Which is a shame. Obviously we don't have any of the data yet though, because of the new book, the new Soulblight Gravelords book, so things could change. But we'll have to see. I do wonder if there's a new Terrorgeist coming. The Revenant Draconith is obviously something that's on the way. But I do wonder if they'll do the Terrorgeist kit. Or maybe they won't. But like, there's been no indication that the because the current Terrorgeist kit builds a Terrorgeist, a Zombie Dragon, Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon, or an Abhorrent Arch Regent. No. Abhorrent Ghoul King on Zombie Dragon / Terrorgeist. So it's a really like there's a lot you do get in there, and given us that the let's just go onto this camera, shall we? Here's my face. Hello. Just because there's been no indication that the Revenant Draconith kit that's coming with Soulblight Gravelords, because it's Prince Vordry is in that. But there's been no indication that there's a ghoul in there as well. So it might be that there is a new Terrorgeist coming. And that you will now have two separate things where you have a Terrorgeist and then some named character or something on the Terrorgeist. And the Revenant Draconith is the Soulblight Gravelords version, as it were, which would be really cool, because they did say in the stream and also in the book, the Revenant Draconith is a regiment of renown, so you can just throw it into any death army that you so choose, which is really cool. I would also, like, personally, I would really like them to redo the ghouls. I don't know if they will. Ghouls, Crypt Horrors, and Crypt Flares would be very nice to be redesigned. Because there's a set of Vargeists, which are just Crypt Flares, in the Soulblight Gravelords the Spearhead. And I know I should do them, but I don't want to. Thank you for your Night Excelsior video. Gave me the inspiration to paint my prosecutor like that for an angelic look to contrast Bellicor. Oh, that sounds cool. You're very welcome. I'm glad you found a use for the video. And not only do the colours of the Knights Excelsior contrast Bellicor, the hammers do too. Because they would not be fans at all. They're more holy than Black Templars, the Knights Excelsior. And more fervent in their zeal. Right, banner time, baby. Is there a musician in the Blood Knights? I haven't seen one. Oh, I just realised we've gone past 50 likes on the stream. Well done, guys. Thank you very much. I am a big fan of all the stuff that they've done for the Soulblight Gravelords recently with the Barrow stuff. I think it's just really, really nice set of miniatures. The Vordry looks stunning. I also think a model that a lot of people are sleeping on, I haven't seen people really talking about that have been previewed, is the Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed. I think it looks amazing. I'm really excited for it because it's a really cool model. And I know, big dragon, very exciting, all that good stuff, but vampire on a horse, also very cool. This is quite a mighty banner. This might need to be a super glue job, we shall see. It's very heavy. It's big. Blimey. That is a detailed banner. I'm going to glue this one to the base before I put the head on. I feel like that's a sensible idea. Okay. Let's get the head clipped. Ah! Helmeted head, of course. Oh. B30. What? What? Oh, I see. They're mislabeled. Good. There we go. Right, this one's head actually makes sense. There's a little bit more of a peg structure going on in here. The champion's head was just like hit and hope. There we go. Check it out. Wow! I mean, that looks like a character model in and of itself. It's very impressive. That'll be a fun painting video, won't it? Let's have a little rest. What are you up to, chat? Gone very quiet. Tattoo Zoologist, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. One of my papers for primate welfare has been mentioned in Nature magazine. Well chuffed, just found out. Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Oh, I just realised. I need to put this on, don't I? There you go. Hey, I saw your post on Insta. When goes the Alfarius video online? Saturday. Maybe before. I have the Slaughterbound video. That's got to go out. Let me check my dates. One moment. One moment, caller. So we have... videos in hand. Just started 30k Magnus using your guide. Good luck, Grant. Right, where are we at? We are... What week are we in? 28th of April. So we have the Lord of Poxes. That's already out. If you guys were interested in watching that video, you can. It's already available. Slaughterbound is also coming out this week. So that's exciting. 3rd of May is this week. So we have... Malekith and we have Alfarius as 2 videos. So I reckon we can probably put Alfarius. Let me pencil it in. Alfarius for the 3rd of May, and we'll have Malekith, the Black Blade, for what would be the Thursday of that one? It would be the 8th of May. Okay, yeah, so the Alfarius video should go live on the 3rd of May. If I get some time, I'll edit it early, and I will put it live. Well, I'll put it as an early access for the Patreons and the YouTube members. Taylor Many Warhipsters update. Barry is facing the consequences of his arms dealing. Post on Discord later tonight. I'm excited, Chris. I'm excited. Mini Painting Dad with the 5 gifted Warhipster memberships. Mini Painting Dad knows what's up. Mini Painting Dad wants to see the calendar to end all calendars. That puts that on 327. There we go. I don't know quite what I'm doing this week just yet. It's not fully locked in. I've got a lot to do, but I haven't passed out the time yet. I know that I've got a lot of really cool content coming because I've been working on it. I'll try and make some more. I also am going to try and get some Middle-earth content done as well for all you Middle-earth fans who've been asking for it for a while. I feel like you've been neglected long enough. Like I said, we have our Minas Tirith video to do. So I'll try and get on with that. And for those of you who are curious about that, Minas Tirith video is Warriors of Minas Tirith, which you've already seen because it's in the Osgiliath video. But it's that, Knights of Minas Tirith, Guards of the Citadel, Guards of the Fountain Court, and then we have Gandalf the White on horse and on foot. We have Hurin the Tall and Ingold, and that is it. That's it for the Minas Tirith army. Hera, Bride of Death. Not yet. Hera, Bride of Death will happen whenever Hera happens. I'll do them both in the same video. Just makes more sense to do it that way. To my mind, anyway. We got to get Mortarion done, the 30k version, and then... Well, I guess we'll just wait and find out what the next 30k Primarchs you guys want to see badly is. Because we'll have done a fair few of them there then. I have a list of the 30k Primarchs. Where is it? There it is. So we've done for 40k. We have done Guilliman, we've done the Lion, we've done Angron, Mortarion, Magnus the Red, and of course now Fulgrim. In the Heresy, we have got videos on Horus the War Master, Horus Ascended, Magnus the Red, Fulgrim Transfigured, Alfarius, and then Loyalist Rise, we've got Rogaldorn, Sanguinius, the Khan, and Lionel Johnson. So remaining is Guilliman, Corvus Corax, Ferrus Manus, Vulcan and Leman Russ, and we have Lorgar, Mortarion, obviously, Perturabo, Conrad Kurz, Angron, Old Fulgrim, and Angron Transfigured whenever that appears. I don't know if that's even available to buy now. So yeah, but we'll have to. That's all. We have to have a very, very good month financially to be able to afford some Primarch miniatures. Or have Batman turn up and be like, yo, paint Corvus Corax, here's the money. And be like, sure thing, Batman. Whatever you say, bro. You are the Batman after all. I'm Batman. Or, alternatively, have you done a video for the Great Eagles from MESBG? No, I haven't done the Great Eagles. I nearly bought some the other day, but I chose not to. Because I had to buy some other stuff for some Patreon exclusives. And I was like, it's more important to get the Patreon... the top tier Patreon members models, get them bought than it is to buy things like the Great Eagles. But they are on the list of things to do. I want to get Gwai here in a box of them. I also have a Mumakil to do. I have all 3 variants of elves to do. I have some more Rohirrim to do. I have the Heroes of Helm's Deep, the Ambush at Amon Hen. What else? I have the Army of the Dead as well. I have them to do. That would be a quick video. 3 minutes long. So yeah. But we'll try and get the Minas Tirith one done. That feels like a achievable goal. How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 6 Warriors of Minas Tirith left for the video. So yeah. I'm sure there's more MESBG stuff I've got. Oh, Glorfindel, Elrond, Bard's family, of course. We did the other War of the Rohirrim characters. And Thranduil at some point. Army of the Dead would be a good shout for the April page. I've got the transparent ones, and I've got non-transparent ones. So I can do a mixture of the two. The problem is, the transparent ones look sick in and of itself. It's kind of a bit of a redundant video. Because the transparent ones, not everyone got them, and not everyone has them. So it's kind of like, do you film them or do you not? It'd be fun to film them. It'd be fun to film a hybrid video of the non-transparent and transparent ones together to show kind of just how you can create like a nice patchwork army, as it were. But we'll have to see. I have the Fellowship to do as well, actually. That's a good point. I have them to do as well. But yeah. Oh, so many models to paint, so little time. I am but one man in a sea of plastic. Hello, Philip G. I need to paint a bunch more clan rats for this event in a couple of weeks. Oh, yeah, that one. Yes, yes. I painted my prosecutors that I needed for my Stormcast list. I was very pleased with those. Part of me kind of wants to take Soulblight Gravelords. I kind of want to. If I was to pay for Sevatar, would you do him? Smash or pass? Definitely smash. Soulblight Gravelords seem like a fun army. Can't wait to build mine. Well, this is the thing, is like, we don't know what the battle profiles are for, like, the Barrow Guard, the Barrow Knights. Don't know any of that. I would need to paint a fair bit, I reckon, which is fine, because it will be the 21st of May? When is it flying monthly? #21st of May, yeah. So, I don't know how much of a to-do list it is for me to be like, oh, I'll just start painting models. Because, you know, obviously my time is very... my time is very sacred. I don't know if you noticed. My time is often scheduled down to the last minute. So it's kind of a case of, I have a Stormcast list left to go, ready to go. I don't know if it's still points appropriate. It might not be. I know that there were some points increases. I might have to change it a little bit. A lot of people were very cross about it because they didn't think it was good. I didn't think it was good either, but I thought it would be fun. So many events in the UK. So jealous. I know, Colonel. Once we've moved house, and we're, you know, the studio's all set up and we're all good to go, I'll come to the US and that'll be the event of a lifetime. If I'm allowed in. They might not allow me in. Was that a yes? I wouldn't want to commit to saying yes, I will get around to doing it, Edward. Obviously, it's one of those ones where eventually, yes, I would like to do it. And especially, you know, if you want to see that video, we can get that done. But I would say, at the moment, I am slammed with Horus Heresy tutorials as it is, because I've got Evander Garius, Mortarion, and Sigismund to do. So, contemplate it for the future. But I wouldn't want you to willy-nilly go super chatting cash for a model that I won't be able to get done for a while, I suspect. And also Smash. Look, I will paint the worst models Games Workshop has ever made. I will do it. You've just got to understand that I like painting. So when I have to paint something I don't want to paint, especially when it's the worst model in the world, it is really hard for me to do it. Okay? I have to be full of meme energy and caffeine and have nothing else to do. But whilst I've got other stuff to do, I will always choose doing stuff that I want to do over the thing that I despise, which is Bard's Family. Because they are the worst models Games Workshop has ever made and still continues to sell, even though they've been out of stock ever since the Warhipster community bought out all of their versions of Bard's Family. Which was a really fun thing to watch happen. I just wish it would happen for, you know, like Stormstrike Paladors. But I suspect you guys would have to buy a lot of Stormstrike Paladors. What about sleep deprivation and poor choices? I make those almost on a daily basis, Sly Guy 77. Often, the poor choice is to elect for sleep deprivation. Justice for Bard's Family. Slander and lies, Josh. Slander and lies. It's not, though, is it? But thank you very much for the £5 super chat. That's very kind of you. Look, they're built. They were awful to build. Why are they a multi-part kit? No one can answer it. How far back is Alarielle? She's not that far back. She's primed. What she needs is she needs a good chunk of time spare for me to just sit and figure out exactly how I'm going to go about it, because I primed it with a plan, and the plan hasn't changed, but I need to remind myself of that plan. That's the problem with that model. It's also significantly large. And as much as I love painting the large models, I really do, it's probably my favourite thing to do. They're never easy. Because it's the taxing thing of when you're painting in Contrast Plus style, it's tackling it in the right order. That's the main challenge with a model like that. There we go. It's in. Went slightly wrong on the Skeleton Horde cape and got red on it. Best way to touch it up on Magnus. Would you suggest a grey than Skeleton Horde again? I wouldn't worry about it too much. You could use either a little bit of a Shabty Bone or, depending on how warm it is, generally a Shabty Bone is fine. Xandri Dust can also work, just as a, use that to cover it. Screaming Skull's too bright, but a little bit of a Shabty Bone maybe. Just like you could glaze over the top, or just cover it over with that. I wouldn't recommend re-priming it in grey and then going again. That's just a lot of work to do. 46. How did you prime her? The Wardroth Beetle has been primed in Chaos Black, and she has been primed in Wraithbone Primer. No. White Scar. White Scar or Wraithbone? I can't remember now. One of the two. Because we are still going to Contrast Plus the Wardroth, but we went for black because it's a mostly black model, the Wardroth Beetle, and it makes sense to not use an entire pot of Black Legion to paint in the massive Wardroth Beetle. You know, work smarter, not harder. That's what they say, isn't it? That's what all the cool CEOs say. If GW invited you to make a Warhipster signature contrast paint set, what 10 paints would it contain? It's a really good question, Grey Wolf. Black Legion for sure. So Black Legion for sure. Skeleton Horde for sure. I'd probably pick Gilliman Flesh. Cygor Brown, because it's a contrast paint set, contrast medium would go in there. So that's 5. And then I would pick from I'd probably say Frostheart for a bright blue, or Stormfiend. Those two would be interchangeable. Red, I feel like Baal Red and Blood Angels Red and then it would be Imperial Fist. But like, I feel like if you're just gonna pick one, I would pick Blood Angels red, and I would pick Dark Angels green, probably. And then for my last two, I'd probably pick something weird. Maybe Pterodon Turquoise. I use that a lot. And then probably Wildwood as well. How do you paint with cats in the apartment? We don't have to, because we don't have any cats. But the cats that we have had live here haven't been particularly jumpy uppy cats. Alfie and Bluebell were, but they wouldn't do it unless I turned around. Instead, what Bluebell would do is she would hook her claws into the mesh on the back of my seat and pull me back. In order to get me to pay attention, so then I'd turn around and she'd jump on my lap. But Teasy would occasionally want to get on a lap, but he wouldn't get on the table. I've been quite fortunate in that respect. Now, when we move, we will be acquiring at least 2 of our own cats. Surprised with Dark Angels green selection. I know, Chewy, but it's because I think Dark Angels green, it's the green you see used most often, and it's a darker green. So because we've got the contrast medium in there as an option, you can thin it down to get different tones of green. Whereas if you go for a brighter green, you can't make it darker. But so like green power cables and stuff, it's always that tone of Dark Angels green. So it's like, yeah, it just kind of makes sense to me to be in there. Naturally, what I would want them to do is do a Warhipster signature paint set, which would be well, it wouldn't just be contrast paints, but it would be pretty much most of the contrast paint line, plus a couple of metallics here and there. Like if I had to pick some metallics, it would probably be Iron Warriors, Retributor Armor, and Runelord Brass. Stormhost Silver, Ironbreaker, and Canoptek Alloy. Because I feel like I use them just as much as I use contrast paints. I need to watch your contrast medium versus Lamian medium video again. Yeah, I need to edit that one down. I haven't had the time to sit and do those. Maybe that's something I can do this week. Instead of doing a bunch of painting content, I can edit some of the stuff I already have. Which would make sense, wouldn't it? You'd think. I've skipped a whole night here. I'm pretty certain. B16, B17. Yeah, I have. Well done, Josh. Classic Warhipster, that. Hello, Sir Strummingfish. Wonder if G-Dubs will ever attempt metallic contrast. I don't know if they will. I think they would love to, but I think they're only going to do it if they can get it right to how they want it to look. And they clearly haven't been able to do that yet, so otherwise I think we'd be hearing all about it. That being said, the summer is very, very, very fast approaching, and we have no idea, absolutely zero idea, absolutely zero idea as to what is going on with the summer release. So, you know, June and July are not far away now. And I know a lot of you will say, it's Horus Heresy! And I'm like, I don't know. GW skipped a week. Give me my Hera, GW. I know. I know. I was surprised. I was surprised that they've skipped a week. I was like, damn. Something's gone wrong. There's been a somebody has made a cock-up. If there's no products going on pre-order tomorrow... Not tomorrow? Saturday. That means somewhere something's gone very, very badly wrong. Because normally, every week. Well, to alleviate some of that pain, Blaster Daddy, I'm going to hopefully get a MESBG video done for you this week. I've been talking about it today. And if things go really well, I can get 2 done this week. But I don't know. Things have to go really well for that to happen. And they don't have a habit of going that well. Because I have a brain that doesn't always do what I tell it to. But I have a project that I've been working on, which I can't tell any of you about, but there are 7 or 8 models left to go in it. Which is either going to take me 3 days or 5 days. But I'll be kicking off the painting on that this evening. And it kind of depends on how much I get done tonight is basically how successful it'll be this week. Either way, if it takes me 3 days, I might be able to get 2 MESBG videos done. Big ones as well. The Elves one we talked about. You know, that one. And also the Minas Tirith army. So Gandalf the White. And friends. Many friends. But we shall see. We shall see. I just created Josh's new cats on Discord under the memes channel. Well, this I've got to see. Give me a moment. I have to assemble a lance. It's called a lance. I feel like that's not the first time I've made that reference on this stream. Oh, I missed a bit. That's why that didn't sort of sit flush. Will you cover the IDNF Spearhead when they have their 4th edition release? I will see what the deal is with. I will see what the deal is with IDNF, because we have no idea what their release is going to look like. If it's a single character, I will do more than that. If it's more than that, I will do whatever that more than that is. So let's, for example, so if they come out with a new just sorcerer character, and it's just single clan pack miniature, I'll do it, and I'll see if I can do some other stuff at the same time. If it's an army set, then I will do the contents of the army set if Games Workshop chooses to send it to me. And if they choose not to send it to me, then I will try and do the Spearhead, but I don't currently own it. And it's one of those things where you go, ooh, some advanced warning of that would have been nice, because it then becomes out of stock everywhere and you can't buy it. Oh. Gonna be Forge World Resin, probably. Or they'll be really, really annoying, and Freyalaf, Olwyn, and all that won't actually get models until the next edition. Because they're like, we've given you War Drakes of Rune and Beachbone the Ent. What more could you possibly want? Many things, actually. Why do I feel like that's just not on properly? It just doesn't feel like it's on there properly, but... I think it is. New riders coming out with King, Hammerhand, and Hera seems like a no-brainer. Still holding out hope that is coming in the pipeline. Yeah, it shocks me that they weren't in the War of the Rohirrim box, but at the same time, the riders didn't actually really feature in the film that much, did they? So I'm not, you know. The lance drooped. Now I'm not sure if it's even glued in properly. But there we go. We'll find out. Do that, it'll be fun. Well, we managed to build 3 of them. We're not going to get all 5 done. Because those are a pain in the arse. Just to be a pain, is the cape behind Magnus's head striped with red and blue? Yes. If you go to I assume you mean yeah. If you skip to about 1808 in the video, you can see it striped red and blue behind his head. You get Thran Daddy yet, Josh? Is he available yet? No, that's Warhammer Community. Games Workshop. Thranduil. He is not. Still temporarily out of stock. Hello, Steve. Yeah, I've got the it's all here. In the to-do pile area. So we have Warriors of the Last Alliance, Galadrim Warriors, and the Mirkwood Armoured Elves Warband. So all 3 of those in one video, which is going to be a lot of models and a heck of a lot of gold. I haven't quite found a decent pictorial reference yet from the movie. I might just have to watch it just to make sure I've got the Mirkwood one, because I don't really like the like you said in a couple of weeks ago, you said the one on the website looks a bit crap. Just a sort of weird brown amalgamation. So I'm going to look for a decent reference image from the Hobbit, but then I think we'll be good to go. Which is cool. Use the Weta statue. Weta Workshop. What? I don't want the game studio. I want the... WetaWorkshop.com. Come on. The Hobbit. Huh. I'm just going to search Mirkwood. Mirkwood Elf Soldier. Is that silver or is it gold? I can't tell. It looks like brass. I guess in the sideways on profile. I love the colour of red they've gone for on this. It's like brass with gold detailing. It's really confusing. Yeah. Look at their helmet for the actual colour. Mirkwood helm. Yeah, see that's like a... Yeah, it's like a gold. With silver detailing. Well, brass detailing. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I will figure it out. Of course I will. It's what I do. It's what we do around here. But there we go. Yeah, brass with brown races and gold highlights. We will figure something out. I'll figure something out that looks sick. Did they get them for reference? Oh, I know. Because it's... They've just gone for like this sort of weird brown. And like green. But yeah. They're pretty gnarly models. They're really gross. Anyway. I'm sorry, those warrior sprues are so much cleanup. Well, look, I'm not going to build all of them at once and paint all of them at once. I'll do like 5 or 6 of them. So, hopefully, I don't know. Maybe 8. That'll be half the box, I suspect. How many are in a box? 4, 8, 12. No, 6 of them then. 2 of each, maybe. We'll see. We'll figure it out. But we'll get there. Lots to do. Less time to do it in. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to end. Because it is now 20 to 8. And I'm gonna poodle off. Thank you very much for the 22 new members. And the super chats as well. It was very kind of you. I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I love you very much, chat. You're very kind to me. We will be live on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday. Not sure what we're doing yet, but we'll be doing something cool. Maybe more Blood Knights. Maybe we'll build... Well, maybe I'll build the rest of them tonight, and then... Who knows? We'll see what happens. But we'll be live again on Wednesday. We have a painting video. Contrast Plus How to Paint the Slaughterbound from the new World Eaters box on Thursday. And then on Saturday, as promised, we will have Contrast Plus How to Paint Alfarius, Primarch of the Alpha Legion. And yeah. So... We'll have a bunch of content coming for you. And I will spend the rest of the week doing Middle-earth if I get the stuff I need to get out of the way done over the next couple of days. And then Blaster Daddy Sells Horses. He's a rancher. Drops a $100 super chat right at the end saying, elves, elves, elves. Said it 3 times because 3 times of elves. You're a legend. You're a legend, Blaster Daddy. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. It touches my heart right at the end there. But thank you so much. It's very generous of you. Yeah. you broke my flow. But no, thank you so much. It's very, very generous and very kind of you, and I appreciate it muchly. Yeah, we'll at least it didn't touch a no-no place. It might have done. You don't know. Interrupted the end. Woohoo! And then he streamed for another 2 hours because it reset his brain. Like the other day, this is a full brain reset. I went downstairs. Like just quickly, final story before I go to bed. I went downstairs before I go to bed. Before I go for dinner. See, brains all over the place. Last week, I went downstairs to have my lunch, and I had a couple of slices of cold pizza left over from the dinner before, and that was the night before. And that was the dinner I was intending to have. And as I was reaching to grab the box with the pizza in, the man next door started drilling the concrete outside again, and this loud noise just cut straight through my head that it reset my brain. And as I was reaching for the pizza, my hand just went to the fridge and I made myself a ham and cheese sandwich. And then I sat down on the sofa and I was halfway through my sandwich and I was like, this was supposed to be cold pizza. Thanks, brain. Yeah, that's what happens. My brain. What a wonderful place to live in. It's pretty good. It treats me fairly well sometimes, most of the time, occasionally. But anyway, I'm going to go now. So thank you so much. I will see you all in the next one. Here is the hand of farewell, and we shall be back on Wednesday for more silliness. Could have added it to the sandwich. Exactly, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Anyway, I'll see you all very soon. Love you, chat. You're the best, and I'll see you on Wednesday.